Okay, it's the second week in May. We've got a lot of fruit already being set, already starting to get big, so it's a pretty exciting time here. So we'll start off with our pear here. It's very, very bushy, lots of green new growth here. You can see that this is what was here last year. Actually, I'm not even sure. Yeah, this was what was here last year. Then this would be the new growth here, all this green with all the leaves, so you can tell how flexible it is and stuff. And you can see where all that is. So it's a lot of new growth, and the pears here are starting to get nice and fat. So that's good. That means that we're going to definitely have some pears, and there's going to be quite a few of them. So still have a few flowers left on there, but most of the pears have already started to. Flowers are gone and start to fatten up, and fruit's starting to set. So that's pretty cool. So usually, other than that, that's the only thing really going on with the pear tree. It's, like I said, starting to get to where it's like a big marble size. So other than that, no problems. Cherry tree, ginormous, putting out a lot of leaves and growth and cherries everywhere. So I don't think there's any more flowers left on here, and you can see all the cherries starting to fatten up and starting to get pretty decent size. And we should be only about a month and a half or so before we pick those, so that'll be cool. And yeah, so very, very it's very ginormous right now, and a lot of growth everywhere. So we'll definitely want to trim that down next spring, fall, winter to get this back in line to where it's a little easier to manage, because it is very tall and very see all those cherries right there on the stem that are way up there, way too far to reach with the ladder even. So we'll get under control next year, but it's pretty cool to see them all those fat cherries out there. So exciting, won't be long now. Apple tree is looking good overall, no issues that are noted. We're having once again more of that new growth pop out. Just trying to see where the joint is. I think it's like right here. I think right here is where the old one was. So this is all new growth, and this is the growth from last year. So it's putting out a lot of leaves and stuff, and the flowers are starting to. Some of them are starting to form up. Some of them still haven't. Are still open. So I'm not sure what's going on with the fertilization and pollination and all that stuff. But we are definitely getting some of them, just little fruits to start to set. So that is good news, especially since last year we didn't have anything. So that is very good. So we'll just see if the rest of these are just slow developing or what's going on. I don't know, but there's definitely other apple trees around the neighborhood, so shouldn't be a problem with cross-pollination, and there's definitely lots of bees and insects, so not sure what's going on. But we'll see if these guys are just the early fruit and the late fruit or whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see, but as long as we get a crop, we'll be happy for this. Peach tree here has definitely had some issues. Last week I noticed that it had the leaves starting to get curled back and have a different color. I wasn't sure what it was. I looked a little bit online. It wasn't peach leaf curl, which I thought it was, because they are curled up. That's not what it is. That the peach curl is a fungal thing, which it's not that. I haven't had a chance to look more into what exactly it is, but it is something's definitely going on. When I came out last night, there were I don't know if they're still there, little gnat-like bugs all over every single one of those little problem areas. And so then I took the water hose and just shot them off to try and just knock all the bugs off. And when I did, a lot of those yellow curled leaves fell off on the ground there. And so definitely going to have to look into, see what is going on and what that is, because I don't know what it is, but it's not definitely not good. And there's all these little bugs in there and gnat looking things, so I don't know, need to look into that, and hopefully somebody will be able to help me figure out what that is. So that's the bad news, but the good news is the fruit that's here is starting to, it's fruit, it's getting decent size now, where it's, starting to form. You can see it up there, all the little fruit. So the ones that are there are fine. So right now it's just an issue with the those leaves. So I'll have to figure out what that is and get that taken care of as soon as we get all the garden boxes built. So all right, the second pear tree looking great. It's again, it gets more sun because of the house not in the way. It's same thing. It's got all this new growth, all this green stuff right here, looking fabulous. And then leaves all look healthy, and then the fruit is getting super fat, and you can see it there, over there, and just a ton of it all over the place, especially of course on this part which goes across the fence and is right up against the fence. So I'm going to try to pull these out and see if I can train this back a little bit to get it away from the fence so it's not right up against it, and see how that works. But that is where, as you can tell by the looking at the overall tree, more than 50% of it is in that one little quadrant there. So we'll have to see what we can do about rectifying that. But looking good, no problems. Like I said, lots of fruit. It's getting fat, which is great news. With the apricot tree, everything's looking pretty good. We had noticed a lot of the little fruits have dropped off now. And we didn't have anything going on that I know of, like hail or any crazy stuff to knock that caused that, so I'm not sure what that is. But basically, as I look at it, it's pretty much all the tiny stuff. It's the little fruit here, which is fine, I guess, because that's what I needed to do anyways, to thin it, because the fruit that are still on there are much bigger than this. Let me find a good one that's easy to see. So here's the fruit that's still on the tree. So it is definitely, this is what we want. So I was gonna have to pull these off, but it looks like tree did it for me. So that's pretty cool. And there's, everything on the ground is the tiny stuff, like the marble size stuff, and the big fatties are still on there. So there are some that I still am going to need to thin because there's too many big ones in an area. This one right here is a good example. There's a dozen fruits there in a place the size of my hand, so I need to thin some of those out. But that's good to know, or that made it a lot easier with a tree doing it itself, because every single one of those I was going to have to pull off. So other than that, it looks pretty good. I was noticing this red stuff here. That's how I guess this is definitely going to be the New Year's growth, and it's really easy to see because it's just red, where all the other stuff is the brown. It's just red. It's easy to see from a distance, the new growth, a little more distinguishable than the other stuff, because I couldn't figure out what that red stuff was up in the top of the tree there, and I think that's just the new growth. So that's where it's putting it out. So hopefully we'll be getting that new growth over here, trying to direct it out this way so that the tree will expand out into this area now that the big globe elm trees are gone. So anyway, it looks good. Like I said, it's dropped thin some of its own fruit. There's still some stuff that I need to go and come out and do manually and pull some more stuff off, so the bunching, but it looks good. Not a lot of issues. There are a few spots where there's holes in the leaves, but not a significant amount, and overall it looks pretty good. So that's pretty exciting that they're so big, because they're already almost as big as they were last year, and they still have 2.5 months to go. So the raspberries are really tall, really bushy, and I don't know if you can see all those bees, but there are a ton of them. You might even be able to hear them. But anyway, take my word for it, it sounds like in the middle of a hive here. It is crazy. There's so many bees just in this section right here. When I was taking the pictures, it was just crazy. So lots and lots and lots of honeybees, which is fantastic. So that's good to know for pollination and all that. Don't have any problem around here. So wonderful. They're all in bloom there. You can see the blooms there, right there. Those are the little flowers, and you can actually see the bees right there, you know, going to town, doing their thing. And so that's where we are in their stage. The plants from last year are putting out their flowers, and then the new plants here, you can see how they like to creep all over the place. These are the new ones. They're, you know, just putting their vegetative growth on because they won't produce until next year. So very bushy, very good. So we'll no doubt be seeing some fruit here in a bit, but no, I haven't noticed any berries, just lots of bloom. So, but hopefully, as long as everything goes well, blooms will equal berries, and that will be fantastic. And so, yeah, and then obviously it gets thinner over here as we go, but there's still a lot of growth going on because once again, this whole area was shaded by the trees, and so now that they have been removed, we'll have a lot more growth going on over here. And so then we're gonna look at the strawberries real quick, and they are doing pretty fantastic. They are really in bloom. You can see all the white flowers there. Just look fabulous, and they're very, very huge too. And I don't know exactly what part that is in due to, but it's great because these plants are very, very vigorous. Where last year, pretty much all of the plants, you know, maybe were like this big right here. Now we've got these ones that are big, much bigger. The leaves are bigger, they're taller. So I don't know what exactly happened, but it's good. Maybe thinning it out, pulling out all the junk. I'm not sure, but they're much more vigorous plants, which is good, and lots of flowers. And then you can also see some fruit, and so these guys should be producing fruit in about a month or so. So first or middle of June, we'll have some strawberries, and hopefully they will be better tasting than the ones we had last year. Hopefully that's what that will translate to. So we have a couple ones that are got some issues, but other than that, looks pretty good, and no major issues. Just got to keep in there and keep weeding it. And I did also get some different kind of strawberries from a friend who was clearing out her patch. Thanks, Joy. And she gave them to me, so I put them in my garden box here and transplanted them last night. So they're still looking a little, not sure if this guy's going to make it. Not looking the best, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll come back and have even more strawberries over here, because that's what I'd like to do, is be able to put them in the box and put them other places. So once I get this under control. But anyway, that's it. Things are looking good. Just got to look into the peach tree, and other than that, we'll see you next time.